And speaking of great times, it's a great time of year to check in on your, are you ready, basement. Frank Bach is here. He's a certified foundation expert from Ohio State Waterproofing. And the reason it's such a good time to check on it, you might go downstairs and find some water that fell out of the sky last week in the corners.
Yeah, we've had some serious weather this summer. So with that kind of stuff, the power outages were kind of scary because if you had a pumping system, you had no way to protect your home.
So that sump pump didn't turn on and it's not running, and next thing you know, you've got water in the basement.
Yeah, and when you do that, the EPA is telling us within 24 to 48 hours, mold's beginning to grow that you can't even see. So it's super important to be proactive about how do we protect our homes in those storms and even in the power outage side of things.
I know there are a lot of people out there that they couldn't expect power until the following Wednesday, which is a lot of days.
Yep.
So what do you do in that circumstance, or what should you have done before?
Well, they make backup systems specifically for any pumping or sump pump that you have in your home, and that's what you're looking for, something designated for that unit. So should the power go out, you've got days and days of protection.
So it's a battery comes on, and the battery will make that work.
Yep, and it automatically charges and then goes back to the power when the power comes back on. So you don't have to do anything. You just got to be proactive about having that. That'd be like going on vacation without a spare tire.
Yeah, exactly.
We've talked about that before.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things like you could be on vacation and nobody's there at the house, and then you've got something to worry about. What do you do? Who do you call?
Right.
Go in the house, all kinds of problems. Eliminate that problem.
Absolutely. And today's technology, it even comes to your phone, where you can figure out what's happening in the home. So that's an example of something you can look for this time of year. The humidity and the hot temperatures that we run into, we want to be careful that humidity doesn't settle into our lower levels. And what that can do is that can bring on another warning sign, the smell and odor. That's an indication that mold's beginning to grow. So you don't physically need water as much as we can get the humidity from the air to do that. So that's why you got to be also careful there as well.
I see some of these things, and I think I hear people say, "Well, it only happens if it rains really hard." It's been raining really hard a lot this year, hasn't it?
It has. Early on, it didn't.
Yeah.
And then it kind of all caught up with us at once. And you got to think of your house like a boat. It's designed to have water around it. It's not designed to let the water into it like that. So if there's issues going on and water's made it into the home, then that's a sign that something has failed someplace, and we need to get in front of that very quickly so it doesn't turn into a bigger issue.
I see all the beautiful things you can do to your basement when you count on it being dry, when you've done all the things in advance to take care of it. Then you can put more valuable items in the basement and turn it into more of a living space.
It's important to get them checked out too. A lot of people want to finish their basement, but you need to have that space inspected so that you know what to anticipate and then maybe prevent future problems.
Is ventilation a part of this too?
It is. It's a big part of it. 50% of the air we're breathing is coming from down below, we now know. And if we don't move that air and do what we can, that stuff's going to find its way upstairs. So we have mechanical ventilation systems. The EPA is recommending that as well, that now that basement space needs to be ventilated just like your attic.
Okay, so you might have a little problem. You think you have a problem. Maybe you don't have a problem. Maybe you should just check to see if you have a problem. What happens when they call you? What should they expect?
Well, what they can expect is we'll do a comprehensive analysis of the home for them, 20-point checklist. We'll do air samples. We'll see about ventilation. We'll get a set of eyes inside and outside. We'll use some tools to kind of look beyond the surface. And what we're able to do is identify the conditions that might exist in the future so that you don't have a problem. And that's part of what we offer as a free service to kind of get in front of it.
Yeah, a little bit of, in the beginning, going to save a giant problem.
Yes, it stops a bigger issue down the road for sure.
Ohio State Waterproofing, folks, so check it out.